Why people believe what they believe, even when it isn't true. Belief as a mirror of the psyche. Belief is not simply a matter of logic. Belief is the architecture that makes reality feel livable. Modern psychology shows us that humans don't form beliefs by evaluating facts. They form beliefs to protect identity, regulate emotions, and maintain a sense of meaning. Carl Jung famously wrote, "People don't have ideas. Ideas have people." This presentation explores why people believe untrue things, ghosts, conspiracies, poltergeists, global warming denial, and the old man down the street must be a murderer, and more by breaking down the psychological engines behind belief itself. How we were raised, the blueprint of belief. From our earliest days, we absorb beliefs before we ever analyze them. Parents, caregivers, and early authority figures teach us how to interpret the world. These scripts become the unconscious filters that Jung referred to as the complexes operating beneath awareness. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. A specific example. A child raised in a home where ghosts are casually discussed at the dinner table will grow into an adult who instinctively interprets creaking floors, shadows, and unusual noises as spiritual or supernatural. Even if the adult logically understands physics, their childhood mythos become their internal compass. Another example. A child raised hearing "don't trust outsiders" may grow into an adult who assumes the neighbor who keeps to himself is dangerous, even if he's simply introverted. Product of environment. Community beliefs become personal beliefs. Where you live determines what you feel as normal. If everyone in your town believes in spirits, UFOs, or conspiracy theories, it becomes part of your cultural air that you breathe. Specific example. You live in a small Montana town where most people distrust climate science. Even if you're not anti-science, you naturally begin stepping into the worldview because people you respect believe it. Your local news pushes it. You want to stay included. People going against the grain risk social rejection. Social belonging trumps evidence every time. Cultural influences. The archetypes we all inherit. Culture is the storyteller that shapes how we understand fear, mystery, morality, good and evil. Jung called these inherited mental patterns archetypes. The collective unconscious contains the whole spiritual heritage of mankind's evolution. Carl Jung. Specific example. Because Western culture has built centuries of ghost stories, haunted houses, demons, and angels, we interpret unexplained events through the pre-built mythological lenses. A strange voice in the wind, a shadow passing in the hallway. Our minds reach for familiar cultural symbols, ghosts, demons, entities, not because they're true, but because they're available archetypes. Fear, the most powerful fuel of false belief. Fear hijacks logic. When we're afraid, the brain switches into pattern detection mode, desperately trying to make sense of the unknown. This is evolutionary. Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. Carl Jung. Fear makes thinking and feeling collide. Specific example. You hear a loud crash in the empty house. Fear fills the gaps faster than the rational thought. Suddenly it's a ghost, a poltergeist, a malevolent entity, anything emotionally coherent. Fear prefers stories over uncertainty. Love, loss, and the longing to connect. Beliefs about the supernatural often come from emotional needs, not logical ones. People who lose someone close often start believing they feel their presence, seeing signs, hearing messages. Jung explained this as the psyche protecting itself from existential despair. A specific example, a mother loses her son. A week later, a light flickers in the hallway. She believes he's sending a message, not because it's scientifically sound, but because it keeps her heart intact. Belief becomes medicine. Joy, hope, and the desire for meaning. Some beliefs persist simply because they make life more meaningful. Humans are meaning-making machines. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. Carl Jung. Here's a specific example. Some people believe in benevolent spirits or guardian angels, not because of evidence, but because it makes the world feel loving and purposeful, not random and brutal. music, the emotional programming language. Music shapes belief more than we realize. It bypasses logical mind and speaks directly to the emotional brain. Specific examples: a person raised on religious hymns that describe angels and demons will form emotional associations with these concepts that feel real. This is really real, even if they later question the theology. Or someone listening to dark, dystopian music during adolescence may adopt a worldview that the world is doomed, corrupt, or controlled. Why people believe the wrong things: ghosts, killers, and climate denial. Now we get to the heart of the presentation. People believe untrue things because the brain is designed to protect emotional comfort over factual accuracy. Ghosts and poltergeists. Misinterpretation of sensory input. Desire to explain mystery. Cultural archetypes. Emotional meaning making. Global warming denial. Political identity. Community belief pressure. Peer economic cultural change. Distrust and authority. The old man down the street is probably a murderer. This comes from the fear of the unknown, childhood warnings, isolation of the individual, projection of inner shadow. Jung called this shadow. Everything carries the shadow, and the less it embodies in the individual's conscious life, the blacker, the denser it is. Carl Jung. We project our own unknown inner consciousness and darkness onto others. The psychological summary: belief as survival. People believe things, even false things, because beliefs are psychological armor, emotional regulators, identity stabilizers, social membership badges, cultural artifacts, meaning creators. Beliefs aren't logical. Beliefs are survival tools. Jung summed it up with, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." And belief is something we do, often unconsciously.